Okay guys, we have the window of opportunity that is before us. We have the opportunity to go ahead and put this spoiler on. I was checking the forecast and it is supposed to be very warm and dry till about 2 o'clock tomorrow evening. So I think I have just enough time to get this deal done. It's not very hard. The link to the description of the instructions will be planted in this video, as well as the fact that I'm going to kind of walk you through as I do what is necessary. Basically, you're going to put the roof spoiler or cap spoiler, whichever one you want to call it, on there. Get it centered. You're supposed to mark it with a grease pencil. I am not going to do that. I'm going to mark it with tape and then make sure it fits okay. Okay guys, I'm going to position this, and I measured it out from side to side, and it basically, you have just about an 1/8 inch gap that you need to have on both sides. If you try to use the top of the roof as your guide, it's not going to be completely straight because it actually overlaps the gap that you have between this plastic piece on the top of the roof and the spoiler. So I measured it out, and looks like it's going to leave us about an 1/8 of an inch gap on both sides. Look over on this side to make sure, and I'm putting a piece of tape in place to see if I can get that to and of course when I put down one side, the tape comes up on the other side. So I can see that that's going to probably be an issue as we attempt to get this whole thing taped together, because I'm noticing right now that if I push the bottom piece down, the top piece wants to come up. So we're going to see. When you put the top piece down and push it, then the bottom piece wants to come up. You push the bottom piece down, then the top piece wants to come up. So it's going to take us putting one side down, applying a lot of pressure to hold it in place. I just wonder if we're going to be able to hold it in place long enough for it to set up, because that's going to be a real bugaboo. Okay guys, now we're wiping down the surface on the top of the roof with alcohol thoroughly, because if you don't wipe it down with alcohol, I promise you this two-sided tape is not going to stick. Because it's nice and warm out here, about 90 degrees, it's going to be very, very important to get it clean so that when we push it down, it sticks. Because we're going to need that two-sided tape to hold it in place. Otherwise, it's going to pop up like we had issues with that front lip spoiler that we had up front on the Maverick last week, when we put it down and one side wanted to slide up and the other one wanted to slide up. When you get one side tucked in neatly, then the other side would pop up, and I can see us potentially having that same issue on this one. So hopefully it's going to stay down. It is going to be hot. I do have the tape laying out there like that so that it will be the same temperature as the roof, the spoiler, the tape. Everything will be about the same temperature. So hopefully it's going to stick down. I don't want to have any issues with this, because I don't want to mess it up on camera for you guys to see. But marking it and putting it where marks are is pretty much impossible to do by yourself. I fitted it on there and saw how it would fit, and now I'm going back and wiping the areas where I know it's going to have to be, and I want to make sure that it's thoroughly clean. I know approximately by looking at it where it needs to line up on both sides. I know the gap from looking at it, how big the gap is, because to mark it, it doesn't do any good, because by the time you mark it on one side, you push down the other side, the mark's going to be in a different place, because this thing is not going to fit perfectly flat onto the roof without it being popped up on one side or the other by itself. It's one of those things. I mean, when you make a part like this, you make it on the vehicle, and then you try your best to make sure that it fits the vehicle as best you can. But there's going to be a matter of, will it lay flat? It's not going to be completely perfectly flat on all edges at the same time, because it's made in a mold. Then they take it out of a mold, and all those things that causes it to move after that. It may disform just a little bit in the box after it's shipped. All those things go into play. So make sure you clean that 1/4 inch white area on the back side, or should I say on the inside, just inside of the where the two-sided tape is. All right, that's clean. So the next step that we're going to do is to grab the edges. We're going to cut and pull the edges up, so that when we put the spoiler back on there with the sealant, we'll be able to grab an edge and pull the rest of it out. Cut a piece. And here's how we're going to do this. We have an option. Either we're going to put the bead of silicone around there, of course, but if I push, I think what I'm going to do is push the top down first. Now I can either push the bottom, we're going to go around it, of course, pulling the pieces of tape as we go, but I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to seal the bottom end on the back side first and then push the top down, or push the top down and then push the bottom in. I think I really want to push the top down first. Okay, what I'm not going to do is open another tube of 3M adhesive, because I still have the tube from putting on the spoiler, and we did not use nearly all of it. I'm getting better at this. That last line I laid on that other spoiler, it was so crooked and blotchy. It's a matter of rhythm, getting the rhythm, going in a straight line. Maybe I don't have any rhythm, but you want to try to get that 1/4 inch bead going all the way across uniformly. You don't want a lot of it blotching up, because then you're going to have some places where it squeezes out on top of the two-sided tape, and that is not what you want to have happen. You want just enough to make contact and to seal it up tight, but not enough to squeeze all the way out onto the two-sided tape. We got that up on there. Now we got to get those pieces of tape, and we had a little mishap there. The tissue blew out onto the surface. Alright, now I'm going to pull these pieces of tape back where I can get to them. guys, we need to get this thing into place. Okay guys, here's the long and short of it. It's on there. It's as good as I could get it. Let's just say that. If you look at the center light, it looks like it's perfectly symmetrical, same amount of distance to the left and to the right, but on the edges it's not perfect. Now, only you guys who watch this video are probably going to notice that it's not perfect, because I just told you that it wasn't perfect, but it's good enough. Unless somebody comes out here and says, let me see, there's a little bit more gap over here than it is over there, or vice versa. No one's gonna do that. At least I hope you don't. But I mean, you can only line it up so good. If you look, like I say, if you look at the center, it looks center to center. When you go to put down one edge, you're at the mercy of what the other edge is going to be like when you get there. So I put it down in the same place where I attempted earlier, and it looked like it was lining up perfectly, but in the end, this side stayed a little bit more gap than that side. But hey, I'm happy with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I promise you, if you look at most of the stripes and things that are put on the stock vehicles from Ford, they're not absolutely positively perfect every time. Now, most of the time I've been able to get them dead on, just not so much this time. But hey, it's on there. It's relatively straight. I think it looks good. I would not paint it body color, but I like the black, so it is what it is, and it's not going anywhere. The heat right now out here is about 92 degrees, so I'm going to let that bake overnight, and by tomorrow when I'm getting ready to go out, it should be money. So thanks for watching. All right guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe.